Welcome back to Hardcore Hero. One shots, everybody. Almost Hardcore Heroes. We're short of Greg.
Yep.
That'll be back next week. Welcome back to One Shots. You guys have figured out your plans. You have Jenny with you, and Tyrus has given you his blessing on whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I've been convinced that maybe we try the following plan first, and we can always talk to them if that doesn't work. So might as well go with the following option first.
Great.
Because if the torturing doesn't work, then we can't try the other thing. So
Yeah.
I guess I've been drinking in the half pint, and maybe like you, Jenny. I don't know. Like, how does it work releasing the goblin? Maybe you want to have that scene.
Well, first off, when do you want them to release the goblin?
I thought I said a couple hours, so I think we probably would have worked it out to like maybe an hour after we all met up so that he'd have time to go buy provisions and we'd all have time to get ready and we could meet around wherever he's going to release the goblin, just kind of head out right away.
Sure. Do you want to actually be at the release point, or actually, let's take a look at the map here for a moment.
I wanted to talk to Tyrus about that and say that like I want to be able to stay close to that goblin when they first release him. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pose as a couple of travelers who are kind of like walking up the road a ways and planning to go out of town and head over along the road. But we're going to sort of be behind the goblin, so he leaves first. But yeah, we want to be somewhat close to him.
They're nocturnal, right? Though, what if he keeps walking through the night?
I'll keep walking through the night.
What if he gets attacked by something? We have to save him.
I'd save him, and then I'd ask him questions.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. So I guess if we're going to pose as like a caravan, I guess maybe I stumble out of the inn to see you in like a little cloak with a cane or something like that, and we're gonna pretend to be travelers. Oh, what the fuck is this?
This is called tactics, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I took my holy symbol in my chest and says, "Have you got one of them cloaks for me?"
I kind of breathe a sigh of relief as you tuck your profane idol away. Say, unfortunately not. I only got the one.
I think I walk back into the tavern, Neil, and I'm going to scope out somebody's like cloak that they've got hung over their chair, and I just want to steal it and walk back out.
All right, you see a cloak just hanging on a coat rack.
Yeah.
Give a look around, take it off, and head on out. No one seems to say anything, and moments later, you're down the street with your brand new cloak.
I like to imagine he doesn't even look around. He just walks into the coat rack, just grabs it, and leaves. Just the most casual possible theft.
Yeah. So I just I put the cloak on and then say, right, well, that was easy. Let's go. Where's this goblin?
You meet up with Tyrus and a few of his men-at-arms at the edge of town, north edge of town, right on the road. He's got this goblin in shackles. The other guys have spears, and they're kind of poking it, making sure it walks forward. Tyrus, waves them off, unless the goblin is really, struggling, and walks him 15 minutes outside of town. Stops and goes, "Hey, travelers! Watch out! Just releasing this goblin here."
He is of no threat to us. We're more than capable of taking care of ourselves, I assure you.
All right. He unshackles the shackles on the goblin and says a few words in a language you don't understand. And the goblin looks around for a moment and then bolts and just starts running down the road.
Down the road?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I kind of put a light jog a little bit. I want to keep him in view. And if it looks like he's about to turn around, I kind of slow down to a walk. And I know Tyrus is going to struggle with this, so I kind of make sure to make it as graceful as possible to really make him feel bad about it.
So, Neil, I'm light encumbrance. So I'm past base encumbrance, and I'm just 1 pound under light encumbrance.
So it means you move at movement rate 9. Now, humans are faster than goblins in general.
Yes.
So I think your encumbered rate is the goblin's unencumbered rate.
Okay, so, if he starts running off, though, he can't keep that up forever, right? If I just keep moving at my normal pace.
Actually, you're moving at 9. The goblins move at 6. So his jogging is your walking.
All right.
Or
sweet.
is Sean's walking. So if he's jogging, you have to like, pick up
Yes,
the
do, like,
pace
a
a little
power
bit.
walk,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Yeah,
power
yeah.
walk to keep up with him.
I think so. That's like my normal walk speed.
His jog is your walk. His run is your jog.
Okay, I guess I can literally just sort of continue my pace down the road and keep up with them then.
Yeah, they're small creatures with short legs. They don't
So
really move that quickly.
Yeah, so I want to keep an eye for when he jumps into the forest, and that's when I'm going to sort of duck into the trees as well and kind of like pick up the pace and try to catch up to him a little bit.
Okay.
I don't have tracking as a proficiency, so I'm trying to make sure that he stays close enough that I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
Doing some close tier tracking.
You know, I do have local and ancient history.
Hmm.
Perhaps there's, historically been a place where the goblins in this area stick around.
Yes, the goblins usually hang out in Thornwood Forest, usually the northern side of Thornwood Forest near the Soggy Hills.
Okay, so I'm hoping to myself that that's not where he's going, because that's a long walk.
Yeah, and these goblins were picked up near the Black Pine Marsh. So they were picked up pretty close.
All right. So when John walks off the road, I guess I grab Jenny by the arm and like sort of pull her with me as we follow.
Okay. The goblin does his run for 5 or 10 minutes and looks back over his shoulder, sees Tyrus and the other soldiers still standing around, not doing anything, and just these unarmed travelers walking down the road, and takes a sigh, slows his pace, and just starts careening to the east, away from the forest and towards the ashlands.
Okay. How open is the place that he's going to?
I guess no, he doesn't. He waits until he's like 6 miles down the road, until he's clear of the forest, actually. So it's a couple of hours of the goblin walking and then jogging and then walking, and it seems like he keeps trying to escape you guys, but you're so much faster, you inevitably begin to catch up, and then he jogs on down the road and walks, and you guys catch up, and then he jogs, and so it's kind of this, forward and back for a little while. And then eventually once you're clear of the forest, he starts going to his right, towards the east.
Okay, and the Ashlands looks pretty open.
Yeah.
Neil, can I get a local history to get what kind of flora and fauna live in the Ashlands?
Absolutely. Please give me a local history check. You may not actually need that.
If it's, I'll have to check what it is. Is it willpower?
It should be intelligence.
Yeah, that sounds more like it. Let's see. Sorry, I haven't set all this up. Local history. It's charisma. Check 0. Okay, so. No, I don't think my charisma is that good.
Crap.
16. No.
I love movement rates in D&D. I'm able to walk at the speed a goblin runs.
Yeah. I guess it's like over a long period of time. It can probably outrun your walk over the short term, but can't keep it up.
So the Ashlands have coyotes, giant lizards, very large scorpions, like 2 feet across, a few poisonous snakes, and the occasional giant trapdoor spider. Those are the things that
Yes.
the dangerous things. Of course, there's other, foxes and shrews and bunnies and things like that. But the only things that are dangerous to people are those that I've listed. Oh, and the occasional bandits. It's rare to see goblins in the Ashlands.
Is this where the guy in Hardcore Heroes wanted us to go and get giant hair, though?
No, you want us to go to the Tether Wilds.
The Tether Wilds. Okay, sweet. No giants.
Sorry, I heard you mention trapdoor spiders, and I had that moment of giddiness because normally I hate spiders, but those things are the coolest.
Yes.
In the most terrifying way, but the coolest.
Yeah, they hide underground and then leap out at you with the penalty to your surprise check, and then you're dead.
Exactly what is cool about trapdoor spiders, Sean?
Huh? Dude, have you seen
exactly?
Those? You can't tell they're there. It just looks like normal ground, then they pop out and fucking eat bugs. It's amazing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound cool to me one bit. I don't know how anyone can live outside of Europe. Like, it's safe in Europe. There's not that. There's no like big spiders.
Dude, we have like the
big
same
snakes.
climate.
Nah, you've got like tarantulas over there. I was
we
in
don't.
California. Yeah, man.
Well, tarantulas
okay.
aren't dangerous. Tarantulas are totally safe.
I
Nick,
literally don't care.
Nick, Washington and England have almost the same climate.
Really?
Yeah,
Maybe
they're very
Washington's
similar
boring then.
places.
Yeah, but you guys
We
have
got-
bears in Washington,
Yeah, ain't no bears in England. We killed all them fuckers.
and you
Okay, the only
bastards.
place you're going to see bears really would probably be in the mountains, because if you're in Western Washington, it's too developed to get bears who are like actually around places. And if
Yeah.
you're in Eastern Washington, there's no bears.
I've
But you
had
get like, what about tornadoes, earthquakes, stuff like that?
no
I think we-
tornadoes.
We can
What?
get earthquakes, but that's
Yeah.
it.
England though is like the safest place in the world from like natural kind of stuff that tries to kill you.
It's just a constant, miserable,
Yeah.
gray, rain, depressing, awful
Yeah.
life.
Yeah,
Got
the
to deal
difference-
with the general day-to-day misery, but you know, at least you haven't got to deal with giant spiders or anything.
yeah, London is kind of like Battlegrounds Washington, in that the only battle you've ever lived is the soul-crushing depression of having to live in Battlegrounds Washington. I mean, we have Seattle, so it's great over here.
All right, Seattle and Washington.
Mhm.
It's like the only thing in Washington.
Yeah.
What about DC?
No, you're.
That's Washington D.C. is
Is it?
on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
It's its own. It's not even a state. It's its own
But Washington
separate.
DC isn't in Washington State.
No,
No.
it's as far away from Washington State as you can get, almost.
The state was originally called Columbia, and then
What
we got
state
annexed
is
to the
Washington
country.
DC in?
It's not in a state. It is its own private district. It's a District of Columbia, and
Right.
the people in
Nice.
it don't even have representatives in Congress or the Senate. It's
This is what happens when you eschew the, you know, standard British government rule. You just end up with a bunch of shite.
I'm sorry. You have a monarch.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to talk about government. You have a monarch and a pig fucker for a prime minister.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. But at least the government makes sense on paper.
You have a-
I'll give them that our delegate system is weird as shit.
You have a House of Lords. It's 2016, man.
Yeah, they don't do anything. They just kind of chill out. I don't even actually know what the House of Lords do. I remember we were talking about this when you were here, and I was thinking about it. They vetoed one law, like, this year, or was it last year? It's like the first thing they've done for like 30 years. So these like old guys meet in this court like every week, talk about shit, and have literally done one thing in like 20 years.
But you know they have influence outside of that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
We're getting distracted. There's goblins running around.
No, we're
And-
making fun of the royal family. It's back to serious D&D time where we make fun of fantasy royal families.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is good to know that they've got rid of the male primogenesis now, or however that's pronounced.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a pretty recent turn of events, I think.
Yeah, very recent. Anywho, I have completely forgotten where we were. There's a goblin running down the road, and
So he just went into the Ashland, or he started like breaking off to go to the Ashlands.
right.
So does there look like there's anything that we could use as like cover to follow him a little bit discreetly?
There's some chaparral lying about.
Okay. I
Low
think-
brushes, for those of you that don't know what chaparral is.
So it all looks pretty open, right?
It's pretty open. There's lots of like little bushes and shrubs that are maybe waist high, and the occasional tree or the slightly larger shrub. So the goblin's really easy to hide. You kind of lose sight of him and then gain sight of him.
Yeah.
But
So
you guys
what
being
we're-
taller, you'd have to be like crouching to be constantly
Yeah,
hiding.
So I think what we're gonna do then is we'll kind of stop and sort of act like we're holding a conversation, and I'll watch him get a little bit extra distance going down that route, so that we have an easier time hiding with some added distance.
Okay.
And we'll let him go on for a few minutes since it's so open going into the Ashlands, and then we'll kind of start traveling down that way ourselves for a bit, and then start hiding once we've gotten a decent ways in.
I kind of feel like it's pretty obvious we're following him now that we've gone off the road, though. If he sees us at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just kind of stopped to talk for part of it, so we weren't off it.
He might try and like lead us to the wrong place, but he's probably too scared to do so. I mean, he's probably, if he thinks we're following him, he's probably still going to go back to his home.
Yeah, and I think we could probably keep ourselves hidden from him, just like going through brush and things like that.
Maybe. All right. Well, at least try.
Yeah.
Okay. So a few hours pass. The goblin has noticed you following him, And for a while, he sped up and tried to run away, but he got winded eventually, and you guys are so much faster than he is that he just can't really flee. So as the sun begins to set, you see him kind of out of breath, just turn around and put his hands up in the air and hang his head.
Once he started seeing us, I kind of realized it was obvious that he kind of spotted us, so I just kind of stood up and started walking as per usual. And so he stops and puts his hands up.
Yeah, like I surrender, or take me to jail, or something, some sort of submission sign.
I kind of walk up to him, and I ask Jenny to come up. I say, "You're not under arrest."
She gobbledygooks at him.
Yep.
He blinks his eyes, looks at her, looks at you, blinks again.
Okay. I kind of I guess she's from the translating. So I say, we simply want to negotiate with your people. We have some information we want, mostly pertaining to your raids recently. And I assume she's translating as I go.
And
I say, we thought to do it discreetly, but clearly here in this fucking place, I look around at where there's no trees around. That's not doable. So we simply want to speak with your people.
He growls back. Jenny translates for you and says, my goblin's a little rusty, but he says his people will rule over everything?
Then why don't they come out in greater force? You don't have to translate that part.
She nods.
Simply ask him if he'd be willing to take us back to his lair and bring a few people out to have a discussion with. We simply want to talk.
She translates. He thinks. He nods, says something, and she translates back to you. He says he will take you to where they live, his camp or village. The words are very similar. Camp or village.
Very well. Then let us move. And I kind of stand up and I kind of reach a hand out for the goblin to help him up since he went down to his knees to surrender.
He gets to his feet, doesn't take your hand. Says something else to Jenny, and she translates. He says it's another few hours away from here.
Fair enough. Let's get moving before we get killed by something out here in the wilds.
Okay.
I throw the cloak off and take my holy symbol out, and I'm staring down the goblin as he stands back to his feet. I whisper to John. Did Tyrus say how long he was locked up for?
I'm not sure. Why?
I was just wondering how much he knows of what the goblins are up to if he's been locked up for years or a few days.
I doubt it's been that long.
Yes.
Either way, his people will probably know more.
And they don't want to be walking into a trap.
No, we won't go directly into the village. I'd rather a few came out to meet with us.
Okay. So you guys are all walking, the goblin's in the lead, when the goblin stops and puts his hands up in the air, like a stop sort of motion. It turns back and goes shh at you, and points down the road, down the ashlands a little bit. It's dark now, but with the moon out, you can see quite a bit. And at first, you don't notice it, but then it creaks forward, and you see this huge scorpion. It's 2 feet long with a 1 foot, maybe a 1.5 foot tail that curves up behind it and bobs along as the scorpion slowly makes its way across your path.
Okay.
Does it look like there's going to be a fight now?
Yeah, did it notice us, or is it just kind of walking?
No, it seems that the goblin spotted it first, and is just watching it as it crosses your path.
Okay.
which happens, and it crosses your path, and then it just keeps walking unless one of you guys wants to intervene.
I have plans for these tomorrow.
Yeah, I think right now I don't want to give the goblin a chance to run off while we're busy, so I'd rather just stay quiet for now.
Okay. The scorpion moves along its way. A few minutes later, the goblin continues onward.
Okay.
A few more hours pass. Now it's late at night. It's dark. It's the middle of winter, so there's no stars out right now. Maybe one sign is just rising in the east.
Do you have a torch, John?
I do not. I was hoping you would have brought one.
I do not. I say to Jenny and to John, maybe we should make camp and parlay in the morning. I don't feel comfortable going there in the dark.
I understand, but I'm not sure he would stay overnight.
I'm not sure he has a choice.
I'd rather not for his sake, but I'd rather not make ourselves his enemy yet. I believe that would be increasing the chances that we'll walk into a trap tomorrow. We could offer him some food.
Jenny, ask him.
We'll make camp for the night for a short while.
What do I ask him?
Tell him that we would like to camp until dawn, and that we'll offer him some food if he's willing to stay.
She translates. He turns back at really eager and nods, says a few words, and she translates him saying, yes, he says he would like some food very much.
Okay.
Jenny,
but
tell him that if he tries to run, then I'll find him and pull his brain out through his nose.
She smiles and translates with a little bit of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And the goblin nods.
And I just sit down on the floor.
Yeah.
Throw my shield down.
So I start bringing out the rations from my pack that I'm able to carry all of without being encumbered because this guy has a crazy amount of strength.
What's your strength?
17.
Nice.
Yeah. So I give out 4 days of rations total, one to everyone in the group.
I knew a guy with 17 strength once. On 17 decks.
I had a guy who rolled 1897 on his first ever character and got himself executed an hour into the first session.
Oh
the guy that I'm talking about is the character I played last week. 17 strength, 7 decks. Killed in an hour and a half.
Dude, you had a living legend. How did you manage that?
I don't know. I blame Neil secretly. Secretly blame Neil, but I'm not going to say that out loud.
Did you hold on? So you mentioned that he attacked the Baron. Did he alone announce that he was going to besiege the tower or something?
No, it was I was investigating, and then the cleric that I was speaking to was maybe you should start at the Baron's house. So I kind of went there, and it was dark, so I climbed over the wall. I was going to investigate a little bit. And then there was an alarm spell on the door, and I tried to climb back over the wall and failed the check, so I had no choice but to try and fight my way out, and I just eventually got killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he meant you should start inside the Baron's house without his permission. I think he meant you should start investigating his soldiers. But
yeah. Well,
anyway.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So also done. Let me check exactly how the endurance skill works because I may not need to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can sleep, stay up the whole night and just keep an eye on our.
There are no rules set for going without sleep. So I think you guys, you're seasoned adventurers, you can go a day without sleep without penalties.
Okay.
I would say around day 2 without sleep, you'll start getting some combat penalties and stuff.
Okay, and could I roll an endurance? Endurance is you can go for longer than the average person before getting exhausted. So would that be I may have a chance to not get the penalties after the second day?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, I think I just kind of tell Aurelius to go to sleep, that I can keep an eye on things in the night and I'll wake him if necessary. I think I just kind of, once we're all done eating and once everyone's kind of going and sleeping, I just kind of sit there and sharpen my broadsword, or my bastard sword for the night.
The goblin finds a rock and a stick and digs himself a little hole to sleep in.
How cute.
Yeah, he curls up in the bottom of the hole and passes out. Jenny, who has no traveling supplies whatsoever, finds a bush and tries to sleep underneath the bush.
Okay.
And the night passes.
Now, how big did you say that scorpion was?
Like 2 feet long.
Okay.
Are you looking it up in the Monsters Manual to figure out its stats?
I just want to know how many hit die I had. I'm sorry. Fine, I won't do it. I won't.
It's alright. Don't worry, I'll change the type of scorpion.
No, I just wanted to befriend it, you know.
We'll see how that goes here. You guys wake up the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
The goblin wakes up roughly at the same time as you guys. Breakfast is had, and the goblin gets up, dusts off his little goblin pants, which are red, and points the way, saying something in Goblin that Jenny just nods along with, and continues marching northward through the Ashlands. So you guys are going from roughly about this point here, which is kind of considered like the lower Ashlands, all the way out into like the heart of the Ashlands up here.
Wait, where are you showing that?
On the Hardcore Heroes map.
I just see...
You don't see the arrow that I'm dragging around?
I actually see Anvil, I think. I don't see Shybrook.
How do I draw... Oh.
How is that possible?
I don't know. I see this here.
Is he on a different page?
Oh my... How... You always have weird settings. Okay, I should...
Oh, wait, yeah. If I put my...
I see it now. Shybrook. So where are we now? Can you draw the...
Okay. You were right around here.
Okay.
And now you're heading up this way. That's so weird. It's like you have GM privileges almost.
Well, last time...
Because you saw everything on the map, and you don't get moved like a normal player from map to map. It's peculiar.
Well, you can separate players and what they can see.
Individual players?
Yeah, you can. I can't remember exactly how you do it, but it's something to do with dragging the... right-clicking on the tab and changing it. I don't know, though. I don't think I've got GM privileges. But I can see the whole map now.
Yeah, everyone's supposed to see the whole map this time.
Yeah. I think last time it was something to do with my Chrome.
That seems weird.
Yep, maybe.
Maybe.
But I reinstalled Windows and it fixed it, so... I was getting this error saying, like, some plugin couldn't be activated or something like that.
So, oh god, I still have to turn off automatic updates so I don't get auto-updated to Windows 10.
Oh god.
Updated.
It's alright, you know.
I have heard there's driver issues abound, and performance will take a hit on a lot of systems with gaming.
Yeah, I do get some blue screens.
That's alright, I just get a couple of blue screens a day.
Yeah.
It's alright. Where were we? Right, so the goblin keeps leading this way, and after another half day of walking through the Ashlands, he looks around and then turns and runs over to this kind of misshapen bush, which doesn't really look any different from any of the other bushes, but somehow it means something to him. And he arrives at the bush, kicks apart some dirt, and reveals a hatch in the ground.
Okay. I tell Jenny to translate and ask him to bring out like a small party to talk with. I'd rather not go down the hatch.
He nods and opens the hatch and calls down. She translates. He's just asking if anyone's there. And then the goblin descends the hatch, leaving the three of you above.
And then we hear a ah! Silence.
You guys have a few minutes to yourselves while the goblin is down there. Any plans? Any words?
Let's try and do this the right way. But if things go south, then I'll lock them in place, John, and then we can go and clean them up.
Of course. I kind of like pull out my broadsword and sort of hold it around in two hands and put this really sick, wicked grin on my face and say, "It's been a long time since I've had to rely on combat. I can't say I'd be remiss to exact the light of God on these wicked creatures."
Well, it's certainly due to send a few souls to the other world.
Yes.
It's been a while.
All right.
I hand Jenny my dagger.
Oh yeah, I tell her that if they come up ready for combat, that she runs away. Like, not necessarily completely flees, but gets a safe distance, and if it looks like we're losing, she just keeps going back to town.
Yeah. She takes the dagger and takes a healthy retreat away from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need it to do the translating, so.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's hot as hell in here. A few more minutes pass, and then a goblin, a familiar red-pantsed goblin, comes climbing back out of this ladder, followed in a few moments by 3 more goblins. These 3 more are armed with short swords and leather armor.
So this is the goblin we met and 3 others?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of, I kind of nod to Jenny, like she can move up a little bit. This looks fine.
She moves up a little bit closer. The 4 goblins kind of form a long line, standing a little bit wider than shoulder to shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
The goblin in the red pants starts jabbering very quickly. And Jenny struggles to translate, saying, he's introducing you to this man, saying that you are his unworthy subjects, and I missed a part in there, and something about the rightful rulers and collecting slaves. I think he's presenting you as slaves to these guys that he captured.
Our goblin said that?
Yeah, I think so.
I give the glare at him.
Hold on.
And I start going like this.
But I say, can you ask them why they've been attacking human caravans traveling the road in small numbers?
She's waiting for an opportunity to interrupt these goblins who are chittering away. And then the one that was being spoken to steps forward in a loud, bellowing voice, points his hand at the 2 of you guys, and speaks loudly in Goblin. Jenny translates as, he commands you guys to disarm yourselves and lay down before him.
I'm not doing that, John. And I won't let you do it either.
Well, good. Should I tell him that...
Okay, so here's what John does. He walks forward toward this goblin because he demanded that I disarm myself. And he takes his he pulls out his bastard sword, still sheathed, and starts to kneel down a little bit. And then just out of nowhere, he grabs the bastard sword, unsheathes it, and goes to just slice this goblin's head off.
All right. Are they taken by surprise? They are not. So they catch on to your tricks as you begin to unsheath your sword, and we should roll initiative.
Awesome. What are we doing for initiative, by the way?
We're going to do D10 plus weapon speed.
Awesome, because I have two-handed fighting style, so I was wondering because that's related to two-handed fighting style.
What's the deal with Bless, Neil? You have to be outside of combat. If we've already rolled initiative, does that mean that we're in combat, or
melee combat cannot have started? So Bless is a full round spell, and
Yes.
it will affect you and Jenny because Sean's already in combat, unless someone closes with either you or Jenny.
That makes sense because I've already drawn my weapon.
All right.
Yeah.
I am not going to do that then.
I don't want the blessings of your tainted gods, anyways.
Ha! You say that now, but as soon as you're wounded, it's going to be, Nick, where are the heals?
I got an 8.
So I think I'm D10 plus 6 with the... Yeah.
Do you have a bow, by the way?
I do not. I do have a longbow proficiency, though. So
All
if you
right.
find one-
Your captured goblin goes first. He pulls a dagger out from behind the back of his belt that he must have picked up while he was down there, and tries to hurl it at Aurelius.
God damn it, he's going to kill me. I've only got 2 HP.
He critically fumbles, and in the process of trying to throw it, stabs the guy standing next to him for 2 points of damage.
Nice.
You gotta love goblins. Does anyone have 8?
Yeah, me.
You go.
All right, I cast Entangle, and
Ooh.
I want to put the radius of it so that are the goblins in a line.
Yes.
So I put it so that we could like step close to them without being entangled, but they're trapped. So the majority of the radius is like right behind them,
So
and
they're
they're
right
at the
on-
front.
So they're right on the edge. They could try to walk out of it into us, but otherwise...
All right. Well, hold on. So we've got goblin, 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 goblin.
Wow, they're really spread out.
Sean,
Okay.
Nick.
Yeah.
Jenny.
So-
Except Jenny's a little farther back. So you've got to make a circle with
Oh, it's
with
a circle,
entangle,
is it?
right?
I thought it's a square. Let me
Is it a
double check.
square?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a cube. Yeah.
Oh, well then that is never mind. I withdraw my statements and complaints.
Well, I do it like that anyway, but rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like basically a wall of entangling grasses coming up right in front of me.
Yeah.
And
There's
they
not
don't
much.
look like they're like twisted and black vines.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of grass around here, but it's the chaparral, these low-lying dry bushes that kind of reach out with their branches and begin to wrap and curl around the creatures. They get saving throws.
Yep.
I like the combat music that you used for this show, by the way.
Oh, I thank you. It's all from Tabletop Audio. They are
Tabletop Audio.
fantastic. And if you want combat music or any music for your D&D shows, I recommend you use it.
It comes through Roll20 as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes through.
Yeah. So that's pretty great, to be fair.
Roll20 recently, well, not that recently anymore, included the ability to pull tabletop audio sounds in, which I
Yeah,
just...
I knew that they had SoundCloud support, but I didn't know they had tabletop audio
They have,
support.
yeah, specifically tabletop audio SoundCloud support. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a pass, though. I think they all fail their saves.
Nah, these foolish beings.
Oh, yeah. They all fail their saves.
I
think we're
stuck in that case.
stuck?
All the goblins.
Yeah.
I think a
el-
pass is like you can move at a lower rate until you're out.
11. Does anyone go before 11?
No, I'm 14.
All right. Well, then all 3... Well, yeah. 2 goblins that are still adjacent to you, even if they're entangled, make their short sword attacks against you.
Okay.
15 and a 2. I think if 15 doesn't hit you, does it?
No.
Nope.
I'm 16 or 19 if I have my shield on.
All right.
I would argue that a broadsword has longer range than a goblin's short sword as well, so you should be able to just like.
Yeah, I was
lock
actually going to ask, if I'm two-handing a broadsword, could I like since they're totally stuck in place, could I outreach them so that they can't actually hit me?
Yeah, since they're stuck in place, I would say that's legit. If they weren't, I would say
Yeah, then it'd just be
medium,
combat.
medium, yeah. But since
Leave
they
the
are
one
so
with the
stuck.
pants alive. Kill the other 3.
Yes, exactly. So wait, which one did you want to keep alive?
Ours, mine.
Okay. Fair enough. I say perhaps we should take 2. I wouldn't want to screw it up the first time and be left without another subject.
Very well.
All right. So the other 3, are they taking attacks or are?
They've all gone. All the goblins have
Okay.
gone.
Oh yeah. Okay. So then I'm going to two-hand my bastard sword, and with this like sick and wicked grin, looking down at one of the goblins we're going to kill, I just kind of chuckle to myself under my breath, just this like horrible grin, just. He just goes down to slice this goblin's just, like straight in half.
Welcome to the kingdom of heaven, goblin.
Yeah.
Roll the hit.
Yeah, I'm checking my bonus, so it should be +2 to hit.
17 strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get +1 to hit and then +1 for the specialization.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 8. Ah.
You does entangle have AC penalties?
No, I don't think so. It doesn't say that. Well, it says that they are held fast for the duration of the spell. So I would say that means they can't get dex penalties. I mean, dex bonus to AC.
I don't think they have a dex bonus to their AC.
Held fast. I'm gonna give them since the chaparral's not that high, and it's not completely holding them like all
Yeah.
over. I'm gonna
say
give them
they're,
penalty
like,
of
doing
2 to their
the opposite
AC. The same as like getting your feet caught in spider webs.
Oh, sorry, it's a minus what?
A penalty of 2 to their AC.
Oh, is
For
that a hit
being-
then?
No, that's still not a hit. They've got 12 AC.
Okay.
It's a miss.
Next round.
Okay.
Jenny holds back, so next round.
Okay. So I kind of take a step back now so that I can sort of attack them while out of range with this bastard sword.
Mm-hmm.
And do we need to roll initiative? Like,
Yes, we do.
Do anything? Okay.
Where is?
Actually, I should only be rolling +5 if I'm two-handing. 10.
Okay, sorry, Neil. I was just looking at the speed of my weapon.
It's okay.
14.
All right, the goblins go first. They begin hacking at the bushes that are binding them.
Okay.
Let's see how well they do. Oop, oh, God.
Is that a thing they can do to break out of it?
Doesn't say that.
It doesn't say it. I think in most situations when there's grass, there's just too much to to bind you. But here in the chaparral, you've got like bushes and then space and bushes and space. So if you can hack your way out of this bush, you might be able to find yourself in like a corridor where nothing can reach you. Maybe if you're lucky.
Is it like making another save then?
I was going to give them attacks, and then if they can successfully damage the bush, since they're already on the very edge, then I'll just let them move out. If they were not on the edge, they would just be eternally stuck.
That seems fair.
Yeah. Good thing about not using the by the rules books like we do in Hardcore Heroes is we can at least use a bit of common sense and some stuff like that.
I also like some of the expanded rules in the combat and tactics. I mean, it kind of power creeps the shit out of things, but I do kind of like the just the fun stuff in there.
Yeah. All right, so one goblin hacks his way free from these bushes. The other guy's got the dagger. He doesn't have any more weapons. He just starts clawing at the bushes, trying to break free of them, but cannot. All right, which one of you's got the lowest initiative? 10?
10.
Ooh, actually, all goblins get to go before you. You guys are suck. Okay, nope. They try and hack at the bushes, but they are caught fast, except for the one that escaped.
So one escapes.
Yeah.
Get him, John.
So no, I kind of casually call back. Take care of that one for me, friend. And I go to swipe at the one that's still stuck in the bushes I was trying to kill earlier.
All right.
Give me a roll to hit.
14.
Hit.
Are these large creatures by chance?
I think you know that answer.
Let me double check. I think it's 2d4. Yeah, 2d4 for normal creatures, and I get +3 damage. 9 damage to this goblin.
You hack deeply into his shoulder. His arm dangles by a thread. He collapses into the bush and pretty much just hangs suspended by the bush now in a bloody mess.
Perfect.
Aurelius.
All right. So I hear John say that, and I start like stalking towards this goblin, like banging my morning star against my shield, and then start like spinning it around in the air as I walk towards him, and then just like smash him across the face. I don't think I've got any bonuses to hit. No strength bonus, no specialization, no level bonus, so 11.
Ooh, off by 1. It clatters against his armor, sending him reeling backwards.
Into the entangled bushes.
Yes, into the entangled bushes. He stumbles back, and once again the bushes clasp around his waist and ankles as he gets drawn into the chaparral.
Perfect.
All right.
Nick, Sean, you get a second attack this round.
Oh yeah, that's right, for specialization.
Oh yeah, fighters.
In that case, I will go ahead and attack at the one who just fell. So the one with pants is still stuck in the entangled?
They all have pants, but yeah, the one that you followed.
The one that we came with.
Right.
Okay.
I just want to make it clear to everyone watching that all the goblins are wearing pants.
Okay, so the one that stumbled back into the entanglement, I will take another hack at here. And then I think we're going to just sort of try to flat blade the other ones and knock them out for now. Oh, that's horrible.
Miss. All right, initiative.
Sean, there's a comment in the chat that you should turn your mic up a bit since we didn't.
I saw that. And Zonalar, I will get closer to the mic just for you.
There you go. Initiative.
Yes, sir.
13.
Are they all trapped now?
They are all once again trapped.
Let's see.
Hurry!
13.
Oh my god, you guys are the worst. All the goblins go first again. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The goblin with the pants. They all have pants, but the goblin with the red pants manages to break one of the branches holding him and frees himself from the bush and starts scampering forward. The other goblin, not the one that was just knocked back into the bushes, but the other one, manages to hack away at some of these branches, clears himself from it, and takes a few steps forward, very close to John, and well away from the branches. The one who had just gotten knocked back is held fast. In fact, his arms are being pulled back, and he's kind of just like crucified against the branch.
Nice.
Perfect. No holier position to be stuck in.
The party's turn.
All right. So the one that just stumbled out of the branches is the one that came with us, the one we want to keep alive?
Yeah. Well,
right,
I'm
going to...
two of them dead, so he's alive.
Okay. So he stumbled out of the entanglement. So I'm going to sort of just swing my... Like, I missed missed my attack on the one who fell back in. So I'm just going to kind of bring it around, try to flat blade that goblin, and incapacitate him without killing him.
Do it.
9. God
Miss.
damn. Do I get flanking bonus?
Nope. And that wouldn't have made a difference. Aurelius.
I'll bash the one that I've just knocked back into the entangled bushes. So do I get a +4 because he's held? +2? Or are you just gonna minus off his AC?
No dex mod and a penalty of 2 to his AC.
Okay, so I'll just roll D20.
Yeah, you just roll. Yeah.
18.
Hit! Crit!
Yes. Yes. 9 damage.
You bash his face in. Your Morning Star is covered in brains and bone.
Yeah, it gets like splatters over me.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I like grab my holy symbol. And then turn to face the rest of them.
Okay. The 2 goblins remain. They're both freed from the bush. And they overwhelmingly pass the morale check. Next round initiative.
All right.
These goblins are committed to the bit. They see you as slaves who have just managed to get a few lucky blows in here.
So I think we're going to start like flat blading and trying to not kill. So I want 2 of these guys alive.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
It's like, wow, that is a bad check.
12.
Perfect. The goblins go first with their short swords. They come one at either side of John. First one, it was on a cord, so that 20 doesn't count. The first one makes a swing at John, hits with a 16. John, you take 3 points of damage from the short sword as it bites into you.
Okay.
The other short sword comes howling and hits you again! 16, yes.
God.
Goblins are on top of their shit. You take another 3 points of damage as the goblins begin to slice into you, cackling with laughter. One of them shouts, and you hear the translation from behind you. He's offering you a chance to surrender!
I kind of go, surrender. This isn't even my final form. I can't take the shield off my back. Put it on my arm. Now I'm one-handing and shielding.
Actually, I think the rules specify that a shield takes a full round to put on.
That would be... I wouldn't mind surrendering a round of attacks for the extra
cool.
AC. It's +3 AC.
Yeah, that's a lot. Nick,
and then once I do it, I start like banging on my shield and say, "Come forward, then." Yeah.
Can I do non-lethal damage with a Morning Star?
The rules say you can, but I have no idea what that would look like.
He goes for the legs. Can you like go for legs to try and incapacitate them and then sort of like punch them with the shaft in the face once they're down?
I mean, I'm happy to. I know we wanted.
No.
I know we wanted to keep one alive, but I'm gonna I'm just gonna.
Yeah, there are 2 alive right now. I don't think you can do non-lethal damage with piercing or bludgeoning weapons. Maybe with a slashing weapon, you can like use the flat of the blade and not hurt as bad. But bludgeoning weapons
I didn't
are.
roll initiative for it, but I could bash him with my shield.
But I mean, you're going last anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll do that then instead. I'll do a shield bash.
Ooh.
To knock him down.
Okay.
I think you can do it as a secondary attack, but if you just do it as your only attack, I suppose you wouldn't get the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
It says damage is D4 and then knockdown D8. I'm not really sure how that works.
Is that for a shield punch or a shield rush?
Shield punch.
Okay. Yeah. Just make a attack roll then.
All right. Well, 4.
Miss. All right. Initiative. The goblins start cackling with laughter.
Sean gets a second attack on that round.
No, he shielded up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I actually go slightly slower now.
Let me just check. Spell speeds. Sorry. Okay, nice. That's only a 1. Fuck off. Sorry. 2.
Holy
nice.
crap. You go first. What are you doing?
He's shield bashing.
No, I pull out my holy symbol and stare at the goblin with the pants, and I command him and say, surrender!
Excellent. All right. The goblin's turn. He doesn't speak common.
Jenny!
Perfect. What's the goblin word for surrender?
God damn it.
Oh shit! You know what? One of these goblins is the one that had the red pants and couldn't have hurt you for 3. He doesn't have a short sword.
Oh.
He punched you. No, he punched you for 1, or
Okay.
he scratched at you for D4 instead of D6. Oh, hey, he scratched you for 3. Cool. Doesn't matter.
Okay,
It's wash. They go again. This one, the one with pants.
Wait, you can do D4 unarmed?
I think a goblin can scratch D4 for unarmed, since they're monstrous things. I think a person with... I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I guess I would make the same argument if I had like a gauntleted fist, that I have a metal fist and I should be able to do D4 with it.
Yeah, I think with the gauntlet you do D4.
Yeah, so I feel like that's fair. If they have like claws, they could actually do some real damage.
Yeah. Anyway, he tries to grab onto your shield and just like hold it to end. You get an attack of opportunity because he's making an unarmed attack against you.
Awesome.
Let's make a roll to hit at +4, please, because
So
he's
gonna be
unarmed and
+6 total.
coming in at you. Ha ha, he said doo-doo.
18.
Hit!
D8 plus 3. 4 damage.
You knock him unconscious.
Perfect.
His unconscious body slumps against your shield and then onto the ground. And it is your turn simultaneously with last goblin standing.
All right, I'm going to make another attack. This wicked grin on my face. I try to bring the flat of my blade down straight on this goblin's unworthy head.
He makes a stab for you. Ooh. His stab ricochets off your shield. You double crit him. Please roll triple damage. Mind you, if you get him to beyond -10, he dies,
he
even though it's
That's-
temporary.
I'd actually be perfectly fine with that.
Okay.
All right, so with the flat of my blade, I hit him for 3d8 plus 3. 22 damage.
I think you miss with the flat of your blade, and it turns to the side and just like slices down into his skull. And there's a blade lodged about halfway down his head right now.
Was that the one with the pants or not?
No, that was the other one.
Nice.
I mean, he's got pants too.
Yeah, it's not the one that we
Not
wanted.
anymore. I take him off.
The adrenaline from battle begins to trickle down, and Jenny walks up, still clutching the dagger that you gave her, looking at the dead goblins around you.
Yeah, I kind of I start to like slowly pull my blade out from this goblin's face, and I just go, "Oops." And I just kind of finish pulling it out, and then clean the blade off and put it in the scabbard.
Yeah.
And I say, "We should tie up the remaining one."
New rope.
Jenny goes over to one of the dead goblins and just begins hacking at him with the dagger, like over and over again, just stabbing it in his face and in his chest, seeming to get vengeance for previous suffering.
Yes,
No,
Jenny.
no, Jenny. There will be time for that later. We still have one who's alive.
Take your fill, child.
She gives a scream, and blood splatters across her face and all over the ground.
I say a prayer to Velthara as she exacts vengeance on these goblins.
So I go over and I get some like branches that I like, because those branches were enough to like entangle around. So I figure they're pretty flexible.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably tie a goblin up with them.
Yeah, they're very soft, bendy branches.
So I'm gonna like tie him up. I'm gonna try and like anchor him down as well. So I guess we'll get some branches and carry him a ways away from the hatch, because we don't want anyone coming up while we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we'll carry him away for a little bit and then try to like tie him down to the ground, like actually have him anchored down so he's not just tied up. He's actually like stuck in place.
Okay. I don't know if you can really tie them up with branches that well. You can. I mean, his wrists are pretty scrawny, and you could use some sage is long enough that you might be able to tie his... Like, you can bind his hands, but it's not going to be nearly as good as rope.
Yeah, I feel like there's like... Because we can use a ton of shit. I don't mind wrapping his arms up with multiple things, but there's like all sorts of thick brush and things like that. I feel like we could probably get some stuff together that could make makeshift rope.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if we use multiple things, like tie his arms up with a bunch of different things, eventually something's going to stick.
Okay. All right, so he wakes up maybe 15 minutes later.
Okay.
And kind of looks around, gives a heavy sigh, and rolls his head back and closes his eyes.
To be fair, we attacked them.
Huh?
We attacked them. They were trying to parley.
I wasn't going to bow down to a false god.
No, of course not.
All right. You know what? Actually, we are at our second break, so why don't we take our break here, and when we come back, we will see what you guys find out from the goblin.
All right.
See you guys on the other side of the break. Bye-bye.